Welcome to another episode of the Mad Fantasy Football Podcast with your hosts, Begley, Goni, and Wayne.
What is up, Mad Mob? We missed last Friday. I apologize. I was on vacation. We got Goni going on vacation this week, but we're recording it early because we don't want to do that two times in a row. So shout out to us. We all took our lunch to get this done for you. Gentlemen, how we doing?
I'm doing great, man. My back's a little sore after tapping my own self on the shoulders. Great job, me.
That's what I was thinking too. Sorry we missed last Friday, but hey, pat ourselves on the back. We're not going to do it again.
We have to reward ourselves for the small things.
Yeah, the smallest things.
Here we go already with the negativity. That didn't take long.
Trophies all around.
That didn't take long. Anyways, this is the first Meat and Potatoes content episode of the new season. We decided that we'd start it off with some mock rookie drafts because this is around the time that everybody's probably doing their rookie drafts for their dynasty leagues. We're going to do 4 rounds. I got pick number 5, Goni got pick number 7, and Begley got pick number 10. We are going to try and get through 2. Might only get through 1. We'll see how long this takes. I know Goni likes to do some long-winded explanations to just hide the fact that he's awful. So you've heard the old saying, if you just talk a lot, then people think you know what you're talking about.
Hey man, people want to know the reasoning, not just the pick.
Yeah, fair enough. So hopefully we can get through 2. The first one that we're going to do is 1 quarterback. No super flex. Needs to be said. We're going to try and do the other one right after this, depending on time constraints, in which we will do a super flex mock draft. Yeah. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Remember, follow us on Facebook. We answer questions every Monday, and that's where you can find us first. All right, round 1. Bijan Robinson went 1, Jahmyr Gibbs went 2, Smith and Jigba went 3, and Quentin Johnston went 4, which puts me on the clock. I've got Jordan Addison, Zay Flowers, Kincaid, Charbonnet. This is an easy one for me. I'm going Jordan Addison. He's going to be playing against Justin Jefferson. He's going to be playing opposite of Justin Jefferson. So everybody's going to be leaning that way. And Adam Thielen, he had some successful years playing opposite of Justin Jefferson. There's enough passing work to go around there. So that's an easy pick for me. Just real quick, if Jordan Addison goes at 4, I love Quentin Johnston. I love it. I probably would pick Quentin Johnston over Jordan Addison. Just like the computer did here. So something to think about there. I think he's going to slot into the Keenan Allen role and be really good in that Chargers offense. So something to think about if you're early on and you have the choice between Jordan Addison or Quentin Johnston. I would probably do what the computer did and take Quentin Johnston. All right. Team 6 took Zay Flowers, which came to Goni as the 7th pick.
That makes me feel good that they took Zay Flowers because I don't really want any part of him, and I don't really want to be locked into having to take him if he falls too far. Looking at the draft board, we have Anthony Richardson, Kincaid, Charbonnet, A-Chain, Kendre Miller. And, I mean, it's kind of a rough one. I'm kind of torn. Kincaid is like appealing a little bit, but I'm probably going to have to go with Charbonnet just on the fact that Buffalo tight ends just don't get it done. They don't really make it big. It never really happens. So, I mean, it's plus first round pick, first rounder for a tight end. That's also kind of rough. It's not one of those Kyle Pitts years or anything like that. It's very rare. So give me the running back. He'll be in a committee, I think, with Kenneth Walker, and that's where I'm going to go. Charbonnet.
All right. Team 8 took Anthony Richardson. Team 9 took Dalton Kincaid, which comes to the 10th pick for Begley.
Yeah, looking at the board, it's A-Chain, Miller, Mingo, Laporta. I've seen Rashee Rice going early in some rookie drafts that all three of us have done together. I totally disagree with that. We've all been burned by CEH and Sky Moore the last couple of years, right? That Chiefs offense just it looks good on paper. This is an easy one for me. I'm going to take Devon A-Chain. I think I love the landing spot of Miami. Miami's all about speed down there with Tyreek Hill, and I trust McDonald to get him the ball in space. I don't know that he's going to be a 3-down back. I don't think that's what he is. I think he's a utility guy, jet sweeps. Try to get him the ball in the screen game and let him run. Elite athlete, super little though, man, super little. I think this is a PPR only kind of play.
Not a fan.
Honestly, who would you have taken here, Wayne? I don't mind the pick bags either, by the way. I'm just curious as to where, because I have one guy that I would be leaning towards at that 10 spot, just knowing that it's either there or don't get him at all. For me, it's Jonathan Mingo.
Here's my. Let me explain a little bit. I thought about Mingo. Here's why I don't love Mingo going. He didn't do it in college. His college production was horrendous at Ole Miss. He's a combine guy, right? I mean, that's what elevated his stock. I'm a big proponent of if you don't dominate in college, I don't think you can dominate in the NFL. Just my opinion. Wayne, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I thought about that going.
Mm-hmm.
No, I like the fact that he's like going straight into a WR1 role in Carolina, and you look at Chain, and he's Kane, and he is RB3 right off the bat. He's RB3 right off the bat, super undersized. I think the only person that I can think of that was that small and successful, Warrick Dunn.
Yeah, I think him and Tariq Cohen statistically were the only two small back.
Longest odds to be
Cohen.
successful and an RB3. I don't know why he's listed so high, but I'm skipping over him completely if he's on there. But as you said, I mean, it's a PPR play, so that's fair. Team 11 took Kendre Miller. Team 12 took Jonathan Mingo. Not Snake. It's standard as rookie drafts are. Team 1 took Bryce Young. Team 2 took Baby Gronk, Michael Mayer. Team 3 took C.J. Stroud. And Team 4 took Sam Laporta, which puts me on the clock. I'm going to do it. I'm going to reach. I'm going to get raked over the coals for this, just as I did in our other rookie draft. So, just a couple. We got Rashee Rice. Just too many mouths to feed on that. Goni's smiling because he already knows who I'm going
I already
with.
know. I thought you were gonna snipe my guy that I want coming up at my pick, but I already know who you're going with.
Yep. Josh Downs is up there. Colts offense. You got Michael Pittman as the one, Alec Pierce as the two, and it's a not so good offense. Marvin Mims, another wide receiver up there, coming into what was not a good passing offense at all last year, and he's automatically the WR4. Probably put Tim Patrick ahead of him. Don't like it at all. Then you got Roschon Johnson, who it's the Bears. They're not going to be using running backs too often, and he's going to be RB2 at best. That brings us to two more. Tank Bigsby and Tajay Spears. Bigsby going to an offense that's leaning more towards passing, and he's behind a very young stud Travis Etienne. He's going to be the RB2 for a while. Tajay Spears. I'm high on this guy. He doesn't have an ACL to speak of. He's injury riddled, but again, I've said it a million times. I don't like just assuming people are going to get injuries. He's, in my opinion, the best landing spot for immediate production. He's the RB2, clear cut, behind a Derrick Henry, who's not going to be there next year. and who honestly has been running to the dirt, probably missed some games. I think Tajay Spears gives you the best opportunity for immediate production, and his only downside is his injury history. If he's healthy, then he's going to be a stud, and I'm not going to jump off the better player just because of an injury history.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I'm not a fan of that one just because of his injury history. I mean, he literally is missing an ACL and a knee. That scares me. I don't hate the pick though. I mean, all he has to beat is Hassan Haskins. I mean, there's a clear path to work this year.
I don't mind it in the second round by any means. I mean, he's got a clear path to work, like you said, and you're not investing a first round pick like Wayne wanted to do in ours. Yeah, I like the pick, man. Tajay Spears. He might get some work this year. Hopefully he stays healthy and the knees hold up. So we'll see. I think it's a good possible plug and play.
It was a late first round pick. Team 6 took Rashee Rice, which brings us to Goni's pick.
It was a late first round pick, but we got him late second round.
Hush.
If we're keeping track here. Anyways, Rashee Rice goes. Downs is on the board. Mims, Roschon Johnson, Bigsby, Reed, Hyatt. I'm between two guys here. I like Roschon Johnson at this point. I know that Wayne, wasn't the biggest fan. He skipped over him to take Tajay Spears, and that's fine. I feel like it's a matter of preference. I think that the Bears just traditionally always get the young running backs involved. When they drafted Jordan Howard, he came out and had a phenomenal rookie year. We saw what happened afterward, of course, going to the Eagles and his career kind of just going down the drain more or less, him sitting the bench. But it's either between him or it might be a little bit of a reach, and it's Chase Brown, 5'9", 215, Joe Mixon, all these kind of off the field issues, the Bengals not really wanting him around. I think Chase Brown has tremendous potential to see the field this year, a lot more than people might think. So I think I'm actually going to go with him over Roschon this time around. If he gets on the field, they have that phenomenal Bengals offense. He can do it all. He's got the workhorse kind of build, and I like it.
All right. So for me, this is a three-person choice here. Marvin Mims, Tank Bigsby, or Jaden Reed. I don't think we can't hear you, bro.
Did we want to mention that Josh Downs went to team number 8 and Roschon Johnson went to team number 9, setting up Beggs for the 110?
Yep, that's exactly what I said on mute.
Oh, thank you. Sorry. Go ahead, Wayne. Set me up.
You've been set up. Knock it out.
All right. So after Downs and Roschon are off the board. No?
Go ahead, man. You're doing great.
I'm confused. What happened? What do I need to say?
I mean, bro, we just need to let them know, after the 7th pick comes the 8th pick, comes the 9th pick, and then comes the 10th pick. We don't just go from 2-7 to 2-10 around here, right?
Well, I just did, and you guys just shook your heads.
Yeah, you could have been at the 10, and everybody would have been like, I'd have taken Roschon Johnson there.
Oh,
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well,
Didn't even know that he went.
I just recapped casually, and you all were shaking your head. I said after Downs and Roschon went off the board.
We were just tittering to ourselves, man. That's all.
All right.
Don't get your feelings hurt.
Same line again because it was a fire line. All right. All right. After Downs and Roschon went off the board, it's a 3-person pick for me. I'm looking at Marvin Mims out of Denver, Bigsby, and Jaden Reed. I think all 3 of these guys are in the same tier for me. I'm a little opposite of Wayne. I don't mind Bigsby. ETN only caught 35 balls last year. I think Bigsby is coming in to play the third down role. Doug Peterson historically uses committees. And last year, at least, they were not willing to get ETN involved in the passing game. I think Bigsby's okay if you really need the running back depth. But his opportunities are going to be limited. I'm going to go Jaden Reed here. Guy to Michigan State. I like his profile. He's super productive. I don't love Green Bay's offense, but I think he immediately comes in and is better than Romeo Dobbs. I think this is a talent play for me. I think he's more talented than Mims. I think Mims projects to be kind of a long ball guy, kind of a Rashid Shaheed guy out in Denver. Jaden Reed for me.
I would have liked Tank Bigsby, I think, in that spot. I don't hate on it at all. I guess it's just because I'm a running back kind of guy. The wide receivers, I don't know. I definitely wouldn't want to touch Marvin Mims because I feel like the receiver room is crowded out there.
To me, it's a landing spot thing for Bigsby, right? Like his opportunity is just he's gonna have to deal with ETN.
Fair enough. Team 11 took Marvin Mims. Team 12 took Tank Bigsby. Team 1 took Jalen Hyatt. Team 2 took Zach Evans, which is unfortunate because that's who I was eyeballing at my pick. Team 3, Luke Musgrave. And Team 4, Cedric Tillman. We got old Schoonmaker. We got Tank Dell. Here's a guy who I kind of wanted in the third round as well. I'm okay with a landing spot. This guy is.
We're dying to know.
We're dying to know.
Wow.
Who is? I'm cherry bombing my picks, dude. I throw them up in the air, and then I try and knock them out. But I threw this one pretty high in the air. I think this guy, this fella, this individual, could have immediate value. He is the smallest running back in the class. It's Deuce Vaughn. I think he's going to have to come in. He's not a 3-down back by any means. I think he's going to come right out and be the pass catcher. Because Dak Prescott's inaccurate, so he should probably start utilizing those type of athletes. I think he can be very Darren Sproles-esque. Obviously, that's a ceiling. But yeah, in the third round, in the mid-third round of a rookie draft, I'm looking for anybody that can give me immediate value at this point. And I think Deuce Vaughn has one of the quickest routes to get there, just because he's going to have to be a pass catching back there, just because of his lack of size.
Would you take him if it was a half-point PPR?
No.
In the same spot?
No,
Nah.
Because that's his value. He's too small. He's too small to be a 3-down back. His value is definitely pass catching.
All right, after Deuce Vaughn, Abanaconda goes off the board at number 6. Wayne, I definitely thought you were going to take my guy. I'm sitting here and I was holding my breath.
I know you wanted Scooney.
No. I've been trying to scoop this guy up in the third round for weeks, everywhere I could. We got the great news out of Arizona that DeAndre Hopkins has departed the team.
Yep.
Opening the door for Michael Wilson.
Yeah, I like that.
I like his measurables. 6'2", 213. He's got the body of a guy who can play the outside, step into a number 1 role in the future, of course. He's going to be fighting for targets behind Hollywood Brown and Rondale Moore, but Rondale Moore plays the slot anyways and can't really seem to stay on the field. So I like the opportunity, especially in the third round. I like him to see the field a lot. And we'll just see who he develops behind. If Kyler Murray's going to be on the field for the first half of the season, even we've seen a lot of reports, or if he's getting the return of David Blau.
Fair enough. After Wilson, we went Schoonmaker, which was going to be my guy. I was hoping he made it to me. Michigan and Cowboy. Kayshon Boutte off the board at 9 to the Patriots. And like Wayne said, here in the third, I'm just looking for guys who can get on the field their rookie year. Looking at Tank Dell in Houston, who projects to be possibly their starting slot guy. Not a bad choice, but he's little. I think he's like 5'8". Then we have Dwayne Washington in Pittsburgh, who's probably going to be a majority blocking tight end, maybe a red zone target. Guy I'm targeting here might be a little bit of a reach. I like Sean Tucker out of Syracuse going to Tampa. Definitely some medical concerns. He's got a heart issue. He went undrafted, which is usually a death sign for somebody's career. But outside of Rachaad White, there's no depth there. I think Sean Tucker, if he can pass the medicals and get on the field, has a chance to see some serious PT year one.
The Bucks got to do something on the ground too with the dumpster fire of a quarterback room. After that, Tank Dell went, Evan Hull, Darnell Washington, Eric Gray, Dwayne McBride, and Will Levis. Ugh. I was looking
at this point in the fourth round. My bad. At this point in the fourth round, you're literally just looking for anyone who might still be on your roster a year from now, right?
Yeah, I don't think you're going to find any immediate value. I think you just need to look for guys that could possibly slot in for you. And for me, that guy is Brenton Strange. He's behind Evan Ingram, but Evan Ingram only signed a 1 year. And then he is the tight end in an offense that really took tremendous strides last year. Evan Ingram was always the guy that you drafted as your tight end, and you got excited, but he constantly let you down until Trevor Lawrence figured it out. The Jags figured it out, got rid of Urban Meyer. Evan Ingram had a good year. So Brenton Strange, his rookie year, is going to sit behind Evan Ingram, and then hopefully at that point it'll be his show, and he can give you some value his second year.
A.T. Perry goes off the board at the 4-6. I'm up at the 4-7. And, I mean, there's really not a lot to choose from around here. And as I just mentioned, I'm looking for anyone who I think might still be on the roster next year. Usually these guys get cut. Usually even your third rounders get cut. The hit rate is very small for those type of guys, third rounders, fourth rounders especially. And for this one here, I think I'm going to take Hendon Hooker, quarterback for the Lions out of Tennessee. It's going to be pretty much a redshirt year for him. He's going to he's going to sit behind Jared Goff, man. He's going to sit behind Jared Goff. He's going to learn. He's got Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jameson Williams to look forward to next year if he does take the field. Goff, the Lions have minimal contract, constraints for Goff next year. So, I mean, they could just get rid of him altogether and it wouldn't hurt him at all. No big dead cap or anything. So I like Hendon Hooker as a dart throw. Maybe he turns into something, maybe not. But fourth round, you're grasping at straws.
Yeah. To expand on something what you said earlier, man, I want to, in the third and fourth, I'm just drafting guys who I think can play, who can just get on the field year one. I want to see what I got, right? Because these guys are usually your first cut candidates when you have to make roster or taxi decisions. All right. After Hooker, Tyler Scott to Chicago, and Rodriguez, who was a Commander. This one's pretty easy for me. I'm glad he's still here. I like Puka Nacua from the Rams. He's a wide receiver. Early reports say he's impressing in minicamp. He just has to fend off, I think Demarcus Robinson was a free agent signing there. To me, I mean, this guy could have like a Nico Collins type ceiling there, being a decent receiver on a bad offense for years to come. So I think he's decent value in the fourth.
I had the 7th pick in the draft here. I ended up with Zach Charbonnet, Chase Brown, Michael Williams, and Hendon Hooker. Oh, yeah. Did I say Michael Williams? Mike Williams has burned me enough.
Yep.
Man.
At the 10, ended up with A-Chain, Jaden Reed, Tucker, and Puka.
All right, let me head on over there. Do you want to randomize or what?
Let's randomize. Right.
hop in, pick a random spot right now, and then I'll hit the randomizer, and we'll be on our way.
All right.
Just pick any spot, and then I'm gonna go ahead and do it.
I feel like I
All
just
right.
crushed Darrell's rookie drafts, by the way. Ooh, the 1-3, baby.
I got the 1-1, Begley got the 1-3, and Wayne got the 1-11. This is a super flex rookie draft, 4 rounds, and Wayne's excited. You can tell on his face. He's excited. I've got a tough one here. It's the 1-1. I'm not gonna be long-winded. It's Bijan, obviously. I don't really care about any of the other quarterbacks on the board. We don't have one guy that's more dominant than the rest, in my opinion. Bijan it is. Don't overthink it.
Anthony Richardson went off the board at 2, which I want to know your all's opinions on him. Let me tell you mine very briefly. I watched him at Florida be not good. I watched him at Florida not be able to win a starting position for 2 years. And again, man, I can't pick guys who weren't productive in college, no matter the upside. What do you all think?
I agree. Goni will tell you I'm uber low on Anthony Richardson. And just side note, I think I was muted when I was telling the people that we were doing the Superflex draft now. So,
Ta-da!
so whenever you hear a gap of silence, your internet did not cut out, and I was not thinking of an answer to a question. I can't stand him. I think he was. Not only do I think he wasn't even average to me, I think he was not good in college.
I mean, I like him for the upside. I don't know about at the 1-2. The 1-2 is very pricey for that, but a lot of people in the community, if you like your guy, you're going to take your guy, and he has a massive following right now. He's got upside, man. He's 6'4", 244. He's got the body to be able to run. He has the athleticism. Rushing is a cheat code for the quarterbacks in the NFL. If he can put it together with the arm, he can be a serviceable guy. He can even turn into a superstar if everything goes right. I understand, he wasn't very good to you guys in college, especially with the arm, but he's got the raw traits. He's got the traits.
Yeah. All right. So here at the 103, Bryce, Gibbs, or Stroud. I'm going to fade Stroud. Looking at Houston, this is a 2 or 3 year project still. Based off the Ohio State pedigree, it scares me a little bit. So really, it's down to Bryce or Gibbs. I'm going to take the quarterback and take Bryce. I like that Carolina has invested around him immediately with Thielen, Chark, and the Mingo pick. We paid Miles Sanders. I like Frank Reich. And I think he has a quarterback-friendly scheme. The only thing that scares me is his size, but I'm going to trust the guy who won in college, Bryce Young, 103.
I like it. Team 4 took Jahmyr Gibbs. Team 5 took C.J. Stroud. 6, Smith and Jigba. 7, Jordan Addison. 8, Quentin Johnston. 9, Zay Flowers. 10, Dalton Kincaid. Holy crap. Oh, gosh. I don't want to be a homer here. I'm going to be a homer. Give me Will Levis. Give me Will Levis at the 111. He's in Tennessee. He's got the ability to produce in his second year. He's got the physical attributes to be a monster. He's got a cannon. He can throw the ball from the end zone to the end zone. In college, he showed that when he's under pressure, he's not accurate. But when he's protected, he's very accurate and very good. So I think if the Titans want to make Will Levis their guy, they're going to have to get him an offensive line. And he's shown that when he has a good offensive line, he can be extremely good. And he's got an SEC pedigree, which, in my opinion, goes a long way.
Good landing spot.
Is it a good landing spot though?
It is. I'm not a Levis fan. I'm a Kentucky fan. I don't think Levis is that guy, but he's going to give you some production on the ground. which we know is valuable. Yeah, I like Tennessee as the landing spot. Once Henry leaves, they're going to have a new identity. They're going to have to.
Yeah, they're gonna have to, but I feel like that hurts him, man.
Dude,
They might
here's
not run the
thing.
ball 100 times.
Will Levis has similar measurables as Anthony Richardson, but he was way better in college.
Okay,
What do you
that's
mean?
in
Okay.
college. That's in
Average.
college. I'm not trying to get into this stupid argument right now. You're talking about apples to oranges when we're in the NFL now. They're in the NFL. Doesn't matter. And any quarterback in the league, if you protect them, they're in the NFL. They're gonna be good. Kenny Pickett might have been all right if they protected him last year. It's just, is it going to happen? He can throw the ball end zone to end zone, but who's going to run under it? Traylon Burks? Beck says
Absolutely.
yes.
It's
Beck still has the
absolutely
Traylon Burks
Traylon.
love, man. Still has the Traylon Burks love. I don't know.
Dak
I mean,
Prescott
it's
has
a great
protection, and
landing
he led the
spot.
league in picks.
What's that?
Dak Prescott had good protection, and he led the league in picks.
Also true.
All right. Well, Dak's just, he's
He's
Dak.
the
He's not a
NFL
good
quarterback.
real
You get
quarterback.
any NFL quarterback protection, they're going to do good.
Cool, man.
Debunked.
That was a good one.
And
It's
yes,
stupid.
when we're
It's
looking at
stupid.
rookies who have never ever played a snap in the NFL, and you look at what they've done in college, that's how you determine where they're drafted. That's
Okay,
exactly what
so
you
if-
look at.
So if Justin Fields was to get some protection, he's going to be good then, right? Is that what we're going to say?
He'll be better.
Hmm.
He'll be better for sure.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I mean,
Will Levis is
Don't-
trash.
Gone, can you name any player? Honest question in the NFL
Mhm.
who is good, okay,
Yes.
objectively good, who was poor in college? Yeah, you won't be able to, right? I mean,
That was poor.
in college, I mean, yeah, you can't. I mean, maybe Matt Castle. He was a career backup at USC. He might be the only one. I mean,
Oh, you're talking about across time? I would have to dig into the archives and like actually do some. I'm thinking about guys now. I mean, was Derek Carr phenomenal at Fresno State?
he was.
Yes.
What are we talking about from a winning standpoint or from a numbers standpoint?
From a numbers
Because
standpoint.
I was going to say any Alabama quarterback. I mean, they win, but they don't produce in the NFL for the most part until recently.
No. You can be great in college and be poor in the NFL, but you almost never are poor in college and great in the NFL. It just doesn't happen. Anthony Richardson, we'll see. I mean, he has a chance to break the mold. Maybe Will Levis, depending on what you think about him in college.
Well, Will Levis was successful in college. He
Yeah, I mean, he was
a
with
lot
Wan'Dale.
more successful than Ant.
Okay. I mean, we'll see. Time will tell. Time will tell.
No.
Do you want the doink for this year? Richardson versus Levis?
I'll take it for their career. Richardson gets an immediate start.
I'll take it for the career. Most fantasy points over the career?
Let's set a time. Let's set a. I'll say 5 years.
So rookie contract.
And you're going to get a year head start on me.
All right.
I'm
Rookie
saying-
contract it is.
I'm taking that doink. I'm saying in 4 years, Will Levis will produce more than Anthony Richardson will in 5.
All right.
Because Begley's exactly right.
on.
If you're not good in college, you're definitely not going to be good in the NFL.
It's true. Never happens. NFL doesn't draft mediocre college players.
I hope we have YouTube people on here. Look at my kids sneaking to not be in it.
Go ahead. You can continue. Or is it on? Who's it on?
It's on you.
Oh, well, I'm putting this doink in the meantime right now. So,
Well,
Kendre Miller went at the 12.
I'll talk to the doink real quick while you get it in there. I think Richardson's going to have a chance, right, to do what, to take the job. But I'm going to go with Wayne on this one, man. Levis is old. He's real old. I've seen him miss a whole lot of drags and very basic throws in college. But Colts need to win now, I think. I think Colts are, in a position to where they want to put wins on the board. I think Tennessee's okay letting Levis grow for a few years while they rebuild.
Yeah, they're more in a rebuild for sure. Tennessee is. They're about to lose Derrick Henry. I mean, they have Traylon Burks as their number one. They're basically rebuilding for the most part. They're gonna play strong defense, and then when Derrick Henry leaves, I don't know what's gonna happen there. Richardson at least has a good O line. He has Jonathan Taylor there. He's got Michael Pittman there. Like he's got tools. He's got tools. He just needs to get reps in and practice and whatever. And we'll see. I'm not saying he's going to be phenomenal. I just like his upside way more than Will Levis. Starting off the second round, I'm looking at Charbonnet, A-Chain, Mayer, Laporta. And as I go through this here, I mean, it's gonna be similar to where I was at with the one quarterback draft. I'm gonna take Charbonnet again here at the 2-1 in the Superflex draft, just to split time with Walker. I feel like they drafted Charbonnet for a reason. They've always had a complimentary back. When they drafted Rashad Penny, they had Chris Carson in the 7th round, and they gave him play. And Chris Carson was good. So I like it here. Charbonnet.
All right.
A-Chain goes off at the 202, which brings us to the 203 for Bags.
I've got an interesting spot here. I'm really looking at Sam Laporta, who I think is a great tight end prospect, and I love his slot in Detroit. You got Jonathan Mingo, who I talked about before. I think he has a chance to be a better NFL player than a fantasy player. Josh Downs, Roschon Johnson, Bigsby. Wow. I think I'm going to take the plunge on Sam Laporta. I know it never feels good to take a tight end in the first or second round of a rookie draft. I think this guy's the real deal, man. Love the landing spot in Detroit. Let's go Sam. Go Hawkeyes.
Fair enough. Don't hate it. I probably would have taken Baby Gronk there. All right. Team 4 took Josh Downs, wide receiver for the Colts. Team 5 took Michael Mayer, tight end Raiders. 6, Jonathan Mingo. 7, Rashee Rice. 8, Roschon Johnson. 9, Tank Bigsby. 10, Marvin Mims. Leaving me with my boy. Give me Tyjae Spears again. I'm not going to go into it because I went into it how I feel about him the last mock we did earlier in the episode. I'm getting him at the 211. I got him at the 25 in the standard, which makes sense because we've had about 4 quarterbacks go. So he actually dropped a little bit further. Understandable injury history. Give me Tyjae Spears.
Had he gained an ACL since your last choice of him?
He hasn't, and I stand by him.
Brutal. Rounding out the second round, Jalen Hyatt goes off the board at the 212, bringing us back around to the 3-1. And I mean,
go ahead.
I'm looking, because I don't want to do that. I don't want to be super identical to the last one, even though I'm like all in on him.
That's the pick, right?
I mean, Chase Brown is there, Schoonmaker, Hendon Hooker. It really, in a super flex between these guys right here, I've already drafted 2 running backs. I have Bijan and Charbonnet, so I'm going to take Hendon Hooker here at the 3-1. In a super flex, quarterbacks are king. You want someone who's going to develop into a stud. Everyone wants that, so you need to take chances to make money, and that's what it is.
So Chase Brown went 2-2, and in the spirit of going, Jayden Reed is on the board. This is probably who I would take here. I'm super high on Jayden Reed's upside, but to be a little different, just to talk a little more about some players, we got Scooney, we have Musgrave, not options for me since I took Laporta. Zach Evans and Izzy Abanikanda. Now I know Wayne's a Zach Evans guy. This is another guy who was not productive in college. A true freshman. Jenkins done at Ole Miss, took his spot last year, relegated Zach Evans to kind of a flex guy. Izzy Abanikanda is a guy we'd be talking about.
Zach Evans had almost 7 yards per carry in college.
He did, but he didn't get the ball very much.
That's not his fault. His efficiency's incredible, though.
He was a transfer, went to Ole Miss last year, and barely saw the field.
Yeah, but if you're getting 7 yards per carry, he's doing what he's supposed to do.
It just makes you think. If you're getting 7 yards a carry, why aren't you getting the ball more?
Exactly. Why wouldn't he?
Also, why isn't that being considered in his draft stock, and why didn't he get drafted higher?
Yeah, what was he, a 5th round pick? 6th round? He slipped.
He was quite late.
He slipped. There was a lot of teams that faded. He was a top prospect coming out of high school. I think the guy's a knucklehead, Wayne, also, which is part of his problem.
That might be his issue, but if he can clear that up, I mean, I think he's got pretty good measurables. What is he, 5'11", 200 or something like that?
It was late 6th round, Beggs, just to go back to what you're saying. 5'11", 202.
We're also
Late
in the 3rd
6th.
round of a rookie draft.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Again, right? It's like Spears. I don't like Cam Akers at all. I just hate Zach Evans more, but he does have a path to playing time there. If my grandma had wheels, she'd be a bike, Wayne. I'm gonna take Izzy Abanikanda here. If he was drafted anywhere, quit looking at me like that. If he was drafted anywhere besides the Jets, I think you'd be talking about him as a 2nd round pick. Super productive at Pitt. I like his profile. It's a guy I'm trying to grab in every rookie draft that I can. Just to be different, I'll take Izzy Abanikanda.
I'm a little disappointed in you, Beggs. I feel like you haven't learned your lesson on the Jets running backs. I remember just a couple of years ago, you were in a rebuild, and you traded away Derrick Henry for, I think it was Calvin Ridley in the 108 in the rookie draft. Maybe it was the 109 because we had the 108. We took Waddle there, I believe. And do you remember who you took there?
Yeah. Michael?
Who was it? Michael Carter. Is that man on your roster still?
Absolutely he is.
Is he?
As he should be.
Does he get playtime in your roster?
Last year? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Hey,
bro, you didn't even play anyone last year. What do you mean?
His rookie year, RB29. Not great, but I'll take it.
Not bad for a rookie.
It's not bad. I mean, he gets the passing work. I do think Abanikanda is his replacement. I think them drafting him is Michael Carter's death wish.
I know. I'm just giving you a hard time.
That's fine. Go Jets.
Ugh.
All right. Pick 4 was Jaden Reed. Pick 5, Zach Evans. Pick 6 was Scooney. 7, Luke Musgrave. 8, Keyshawn Butte. 9, Cedric Tillman. 10, Tank Dell. Which brings us to the 311. And I love the value I'm getting for Michael Wilson here. I'm kind of opposite of you guys. I'm not going to pick somebody different just to talk about somebody different.
I mean, I picked 2 of the same exact players.
That's
just in
fine.
different rounds.
That's fine. This is a mock. You're doing what you're supposed to do. I think it needs to be said. Oh gosh, that McBride is there. I like McBride a lot. He popped up to the number 2 with Dalvin Cook out. He could be a good complementary piece to Madison. There's a path there for immediate value. We got Washington there. Not a big fan of him just because Freiermuth for MVP. For him to get value, they're gonna have to run some 2 tight end sets. And that's all I'm going to talk about the other players. Give me Michael Wilson. For the same reason Goni took him in the 3rd round last time. He's going to a WR3 right now-ish. Could probably be considered the WR2, and I think will be considered that halfway through the season at most.
Rounding out the 3rd, Darnell Washington goes off the board to team 12, and I will be starting at the 4-1. And here I like McBride. I like Dwayne McBride. I think he comes straight in and is the backup to Alexander Madison. They had Ty Chandler, who they drafted in the 5th round last year, but he only got 6 carries. 6 carries, no targets all last year. And Kine Nwangwu, 4th round pick in 2021. He only has 28 touches in 2 years. He's had his chance. He's not it. I don't think either of these guys necessarily touches McBride as far as being the backup. We've seen before that Minnesota likes to run a 3-down back. I think Alexander Madison is that guy this year, but if he was to miss time, McBride is the next man up, and that's what you want to see. Opportunities in the 4th round.
All right, Deuce Vaughn went 2-2, and in the spirit of not being Wayne, and this is just a pretend mock draft on an actual one, and you guys probably want to hear our analysis, I'm going to choose a different player because Sean Tucker is on the board here, and I would normally take him in a draft, just like I would have taken Jaden Reed next round. I'm going to talk about Evan Hull out in Indy.
You good, man?
Wow, man! I was flow. I had the flow going. I was ready to hop right into it.
Well, yeah, that's cool, man. But you attacked me. You didn't even tell me to put my dukes up or anything.
I just said I'm going to be a little different. Is all. That's all I said, really.
So we're giving them one of them mock drafts where we don't do what we think we should do.
Well, we're giving mock drafts where maybe they have a little different opinions and they'd like to see option 2. You know. I'm going to talk about Evan Hull. I think he is very similar to Abanikanda, where his draft spot has scared everybody. He slid down rookie drafts. If he went to any spot that's not behind Jordan Taylor, I think you'd be talking about him as a 2nd or 3rd round pick. Great receiving profile out of Northwestern. He's got the measurables. I think he's got a chance to slot into some 3rd down work this year in Indy.
I tell you what, I got nothing but garbage. We got pick 4. Sean Tucker, pick 5, Eric Gray, 6, Stetson Bennett, 7, Xavier Hutchinson, 8, Puka Nacua, 9, Tucker Kraft, 10, Tyler Scott. Ugh.
It's a dart from 3-point range is what it is.
All right.
2 picks. Let's wrap this thing up.
If you're watching on YouTube, you just gotta never mind. Man, this is a tough one for me because if I take Brenton Strange, I get yelled at. McIntosh, he's the 3. They got 2 young guys ahead of them. That's just not gonna happen. Oh my gosh, I don't like this at all.
Homer pick. It's time for a homer pick. Go Cats, man.
You want me to do the homer pick? You want me to talk about you want me to talk about C-Rod?
Yeah, you don't have a choice, man.
Ah, boo.
Give me C-Rod. Give me Chris Rodriguez. Going to the Manders. He's Goni, you're so stupid. They've got Brian Robinson. They've got Antonio Gibson. Antonio Gibson is on his way out. He got his job taken immediately by a rookie who got his tater shot. If C-Rod can be half as successful in the NFL as he was in college, he's going to be putting up points for you. He's definitely more of a project. You're going to have to wait for Gibson to get out of there. But I think he eventually sees the field. I mean, he had a great year in the he had a great career against SEC defenses. He's a powerful runner. He's a 3-down back. He's 5'11", 220. He definitely has the measurables and the talent to be successful in the NFL. He's just going to be a project guy that you got to wait for his turn to be up to bat.
Couldn't disagree more. He's Benny Snell 2.0. Benny Snell 2.0. Benny Snell was good at UK, and he's trash in the NFL. He's slow. He's a power guy. That's what C-Rod is going to be. He's not a guy who's going to break away or do anything. He's going to try and bulldoze people, and you're playing against grown men in the NFL, man. I don't know. It's a 4th round pick. I'm not trying to poop on it too much.
Yeah, I was going to say, in the spirit of not
it's
being
a 4th round.
I'm not going to hate on your 4th round
it's
pick.
Wow. I was going to ask before Beggs threw out the the homer pick, I was actually going to ask you how you felt about Charlie Jones.
He's
Charlie
WR4.
Jones, wide receiver. He's WR4 this year, but they have contractual obligations and decisions to make between Tyler Boyd and T. Higgins after this year.
They're definitely bringing one of them back. So for the very far future, he's WR3 best case scenario. For the far future.
Bengals though, for the Bengals, Tyler Boyd's had some good games, man.
Do you ever start Tyler Boyd?
Actually, I'm pretty sure I saw him get started last year for a couple games because Jamar Chase was out. So
yeah,
yes.
it's
actually
injury.
Put up good numbers in one of them.
He's injury dependent.
Okay, but I'm saying it's a wide receiver 3 on a great passing offense. In the fourth round.
And first off, C-Rod had a better career at Kentucky than Benny Snell, and Benny Snell is still on an active NFL roster, still sees the field. He's obviously not on any fantasy teams, but give me the guy that's not behind Najee Harris, and give me the guy that had a better college career.
Weird. Jaylen Warren was pretty good behind Najee last year.
Yeah.
Who beat out Benny Snell. Hey, all right, man. Agree to disagree.
It smells like a dunk is in the air. Benny Snell versus C-Rod?
Goney's just the type of guy who...
Benny Snell versus C-Rod.
First to 100 fantasy points wins there.
First to 50, maybe?
Goney's just the type of guy that he moved from New York to Kentucky, so anything Kentucky related he just hates on. I mean, Bijan Robinson, if he played for Kentucky, he would have absolutely taken Anthony Richardson at the number 1 pick. Just because he's a hater.
I just have eyeballs. I have eyeballs, and I use them. Benny Snell got ops. He got opportunities. He didn't do anything with them. He's not good at the NFL level.
All right. Well, we'll wrap this up. Goney, what was your team?
My team was Bijan Robinson, Zach Charbonnet, Hendon Hooker, and Dwayne McBride.
All right. Begley had to abruptly leave because he has a meeting. Like we said, we're sneaking this in on our lunch. His team was Bryce Young, Sam Laporta, Israel Abenakanda, and Evan Hull. Begley, your team sucks. Would you like to defend yourself?
Worst team ever, man.
Cool. My team is Will Levis, Tajay Spears, Michael Wilson, and C-Rod. Love it.
Love it. Hey, do you want to put a doink on who puts up more fantasy points between the two of us?
No.
Man, I thought I could sneak one in there. Hey, all right. Just leave it at no. I don't need all the rest of the stuff. I just try to sneak
you
one.
You have the 1-1. You absolutely need it. I'm going to try and fleece you. When you find out that I'm fleecing you, I don't want to hear anything about it.
Yeah, that's it, man. That's it.
All right, Mad Mob. Homer picks for MVP. LVP.